Hi, John here. Today it's Thursday, the 5th of January 2023. I'm just going to give a little rundown of a court document. I've got a one-page court document that's got all the links on it and the videos on it. Just the one video here, this one I'm going to put on. I'm going to show you in a minute. I've been trying to work out how to do share screen, but I don't know how. So I'll just flick the camera around to show you on the screen what I'm doing to make the court case we're doing at the moment against the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and the Governor General Cindy Kiro and the two landowners of Cook Street. So those are four corporate people that we've got in this court. It's been like that for a long time, ever since 2015, when this case should have been wrapped up back then. The only thing is the government's got worse, and they're not worrying about anybody but themselves and their own private corporation business that we're up against. So I'm explaining the folders. I have 81 folders with all the information in them to back up a court order, a court seizure warrant for property, and a court bench warrant to arrest the pirates who are operating scam business against all the sovereign born people on the land we call native. So there's native separating Maori in government and Pākehā in government running their own private business. So what I'm doing here is making myself one live person on video court hearings, not dead, against Jacinda Ardern one-on-one, my documents, my history, memorials, titles, all that against her, and no lawyers backing her up. She's on her own. And motu proprio, that's Pope Francis' letter, makes all politicians, lawyers, bankers, judges, all not immune from prosecution. So that's that side of the law on her head. And then we've got all these laws on top of her head. And then we've got the 1835 Constitution of New Zealand. I've put that together so you can see it. I'll explain it a little bit, how that works. And that's an original constitution with an original flag from a king on dry land. So they're in the sea, dead at sea. That's what Jacinda Ardern is. She's dead at sea. And I'm live on live court hearings with our jury and with Andy Devine, our partner in Britain. And at this point in time, we're putting together these documents and these court hearings, 37 court hearings we've had so far, to give anyone in the public, including the government, all the Crown agents of New Zealand, that Crown is their own private Crown and not the Crown in Britain. So everything this government is doing has got nothing to do with Britain. And so we're up against them as Britain, partners with the flag, the federal state, sovereign nation state flag, republic. So we're going as a dual federal state government with their flag. And we made the flag legal in the court hearings. And when no one refused all the affidavits, 37 affidavit videos live and 37 document affidavits, and those combined up on her head, on each thug pirate's head, and extreme against Jacinda, because I've got extreme penalty, death penalty, possible death penalty for causing death to all the people who are dropping dead like flies because of what's happening with introducing poisons in bodies, and the body can't hack it, and that's the end of their life. So there's plenty of people dying because of the bioweapon, mass extermination worldwide of populations of people, and we're not left out of that in the WEF. That's a threat on our country, trying to take it over and put another constitution in the place of our constitution. What's wrong with your 1986 constitution, Jacinda Ardern? What's wrong with it? Because it was no good in the beginning. You took away our 1852 British constitution, then put a useless constitution there so you could get control over the land and the country, and your Maori patent word, tribe. You see, so now it's caught you out with that flag, and that one-page constitution I put together, gone to Britain. It's gone to the military, the Royal Navy, and the government. And they're going to look at you, investigate you with our private investigator. I'll know tomorrow what his decision is, conscientiously, if he's going to go with your king of who. I asked him, the private investigator, ex-Scotland Yard, I asked him to investigate your king in your court, your high court. Who is the king of your government, and who is the queen of your government, and what's all that about? For who? You see, it's not for the people out here, the sovereign born native people of the land. That means everybody born on the land here. And so I'm just one of them that's here for all the people who can't do anything about you and what you're doing, legislating all their rights away, the human rights, the Bill of Rights. You legislated them all out because you put an emergency on the country, and that's what our flag is. We're putting an emergency on this country over you, the threat, with our declaration of war flag. That's what it is. We've livened it up, and you've got that flag on your head. You've got the Constitution on your head, and the British know that because we've got their Constitution 1689, Bill of Rights, which is a constitution. I've got a one-page constitution framed up just so we have two constitutions that are powerful, inherent jurisdiction on the record that made the laws in the first place, where you've used those laws of Britain, then carved them all up and made your own legislation and statute law, and you can't use all that on us while we got that flag locked at 1835 in a contract with Britain. So there, I'm just going to pull the camera around. It'll be noisy, but I can't help it until I figure out how to do sharing on a screen. I tried all day today, afternoon, trying to get my mobile here, this nice mobile, to try and make this work. But because it's Chinese, it's hard to make the Odyssey and YouTube work on it. So I'm still working on it. I wanted to do my things on this and then show it on there, on the desktop, how things work out. But I'll get it yet. I've been persistent enough to make things work, and I've got the videos and the documents. I've got the documents that can open up on Google Drive. Now, the big document, the 676-page document, can open up in no time now. Anybody can open it up. So that was my biggest problem, was the PDF file was too big to open, and it wouldn't open. It got just too big. But now it's no trouble going straight into the Google Drive website to open it straight up for anybody looking at the documents. But I put the main documents, there's 4 documents altogether on the one page, and you just click on the thread and open them up. So I'll be having I'm going to be talking to a group of people with Gene Sadler, and I don't know which day. I think it's Sunday, and I'll be explaining on the mobile to people on their mobiles. They can click into the website, MOAI Power POWER House HOUSE WORLD World website, so you can follow what I'm saying when you open it up on your mobiles. And he'll put the Bluetooth on, and it's good if he had a screen to go with it, and so I can talk into his mobile and go straight up onto the screen. So I'm only going to do it once, because there's no time left to go to Hui's or anywhere. We're too busy now in business. No more court hearings, no more talking. It's all over, because this government here is hell-bent on getting the United Nations Army here and going and knocking everybody out, knocking the doors and taking their land and everything off them. That's supposed to be in February when they finish legislating the act. So we're going to knock them before February with the British. They should be there. It shares on the Constitution. Well, it was a Declaration of Independence, 1835, but I've ripped that up and made it back to what it was before, a constitution with those red lettering words. I'll show you in a minute, and pull those words out and make a sentence out of it, and there's your constitution. The word chief, the word constitutional, and the word confederation. There, those three words, and all the rest of the red words as well. But those 3 are the main ones: the chief of the confederation, and the constitutional. It's got constitutional. It's constitutional, which means it's a constitution. That's what that means. The Declaration was a constitution, and these missionaries added all those black words into the red words to make it switch out of the original flag on dry land and the Declaration of Independence, which was a constitution of finding the country. The British found this country with that flag and that constitution, and this stupid government said they found it in 1840 after it was found. That's how dumb they are, and their brains are mushy. The whole lot of them are mushy, and we want to get rid of them with this constitution and knock them right out with the law. So there, that's that. And so I'm making it simple so that you have a one page, and you've got 676 page in one thread. That's for all the information to back up the arrest warrant for the thugs, and for the court order, you've got 80 pages for the court order, 12 pages for arrest warrant, and 26 pages for seizure of land. See, so that's all you have to do. Take the land and they're gone. Off the land, off the native land. And they can't do nothing about it, because no one's got any instruments of a king. You've got Charlie as a king now, but he's not really a king, because he's got nothing underneath him that connects him with the Admiralty of mortgaged lands on land all over the world. His name stops right there with nothing. Prince Philip made himself a commander-in-chief, but that's not a real admiral. They're just like leeches. They're like parasitic inherent parasites. They stick to something that's already there. That's what this government is doing here. It's a parasite, inherent parasite, sticking to our whakapapa, to the hapu's whakapapa, to everything else that they make their government and their iwi trustees out of. So we're going to put the trustees, put all those crown corporations, everyone, all of the property developers, all the banks, all those people on these lands with this pound note debt instrument lien on their heads with these documents. So there, I have to say it that way because it's too late for anybody else to think of anything to try and save this country from takeover. It's a coup on the country to take our rights away. You've got no human rights now. They've legislated out, but that's for them. That's not for us with this flag and this constitution locks them out. They can't put that on us. They can put it on all the Maoris, all the people in their system, and the treaty claims all those people on that side. That's why I split the Maori off from the native, so you can clearly see who's who. And there's not many people in this side, which is very odd because they've got no grounding to where they got their title from in the first place, from a native title, and they've forgotten about themselves, stuck to their land, and just following Pākehā in the government. They're all following because they're too lazy to research where the hell they got on the land in the first place. See, so this is a quick lesson to everyone. This is your ticket out. It's this or nothing. It's this or nothing. And just go straight out and lose everything in what Jacinda's doing. So we're going to get her as guinea pigs. All the corporations are guinea pigs in this native Magistrate King's Bench Court. And they make us guinea pigs in their court. See, so they might be bigger than us, but the documents don't stack up. They've got assuming assumptions with their king, who's the king, and they got assumptions of a queen, who's the queen, and they got assumptions of their admiralty, which is just a paddle. It's not the real deal of surrogate king. See, so there's me as surrogate king versus the fictitious king of ambiguity and uncertainty of that government corporation against our corporation flag. The flag is a corporation that kicked off the Municipal Corporations Act in 1835 to pick up the rent on the leased lands to the king. See, locked in 1835. Nothing after that, nothing doesn't count. It's locked right there in contract. We're in contract with Britain and the big crown from there, not forward, from there, locked. Everything they did with the crown after that, that's our business. Where is all the money and the gold missing? That's why there's a green pound note on all the missing gold and all the land that the Queen said she owns. And Charlie is going to end up like Charlie I, executed, because his family is going against the Constitution with the parliamentary sovereignty. Against, we're going to do this here. If we do it here, it'll whack that end over there in Westminster. The same thing as here. So get this corporate here, that other one will fall in Westminster. They're all crooked. They are all fraud, corrupted system of the Rothschilds and the Queen. That's been like that all along, ever since 1837, when Queen Victoria went in there and they legislated King Ernest Augustus I, the brother of King William IV and King George IV, legislated him out, and so we're legislating King Ernest Augustus V in our court system when we get this thing off the ground here. So, okay, so I'll flick the camera around now. It'll be noisy and unsteady. Yeah, because my hand will be shaking a little bit. So I'll go to the document here, this one. So here, what I've done here, I hope you can see it. I've put our lineup of kings along the top, the Dutch kings, King Solomon on the left, and King William III, King George IV, King Ernest Augustus I, King George IV, King George III there, King George IV, King William IV, and King Ernest Augustus Regent in waiting. He's the right one. He's got the 8-point star on his front. That's picks up the leases on the lands right through the four corners of the earth of this flag here. Right. That's why it's got four 8-point star of St. Patrick to go around the world, and we're just about to go around the world with the business right now. So here we go up. There's our King William IV crown. That's our business with the Admiralty rope around it, of the Admiralty law and the commercial law here on dry land, with his horse on the dry land, and you can see the ship in the background in that picture. And so this is the Municipal Corporations Act to pick up the lease rent on the land here and around the world in all the other countries. So here we've got Ben Wallace. He's the Secretary of Defence, Secretary of State Defence in the British Westminster. So there, Ben Wallace, Secretary of State Defence UK. And we got court order for all cases. Every case there is, we just need this one page with all these links on it. So it's still in Word now. I'm going to put this video on it afterwards so that you can press that I'm explaining how it works. So here we have court order for all cases, 80 pages. That's the orders there. You just click on that off the website, and it'll open up and show you how we did it, how we put the court together in 37 weeks. And here we've got the court property foreclosure and seizure warrant for Cook Street, 26 pages. So there, that's a warrant to seize it for the debt collector. And then click onto that link. And then this one here, court bench writ of execution, property control, seizure, arrest warrant for all land foreclosures, cases and humans, 12 pages. That's the warrant to arrest Jacinda Ardern and Cindy Kiro and the two landowners of Cook Street for frauding the land transfer and bank fraud with John Key and the judges in the court and the policewoman that arrest me and throw me in prison. They're going to pay for all of that. All those people are going to pay with this pound note on their heads. So it's looking financial already with what's going to happen here. Here we have that thread there, and this one, court folders of reference cited evidence, 676 pages, and all video and document links. So all the cases over 37 weeks is in this 676 page document here. When you click onto this link here, it will take you right through and show you every crook in there with their photos in there. They can't get off. And so we pluck them off, $1 trillion apiece. We warned them that they'll get £1 trillion on their head for getting in my road. Video explaining how a native magistrate King's Bench Court of original title works for the native-born people of their lands as owners and not a foreign corporation landowner pirate. So there, that's just telling you, all you native people that born here on the land, any race, any race, is all in this as shareholders in what we recover. Tony Radican, that's him there, is the Chief of Defence here, and Ben Key, Admiral, First Sea Lord on the bottom here, that's him there. So you got those two have got these letters. They've got what I'm just telling you now. They're looking at them and looking at what this government is doing, and as high treason and bioweapon war against people they are killing every day. And my King William IV Native Magistrate Kings Bench Court 1835 Constitution flag trademark. So the flag, as this is a trademark, this is our company logo for Ngā Atua Ewa Aotea Limited, creditor against the government of New Zealand's new company called Crown Sovereign of New Zealand. We'll go them against them with this, against their Maori chief and Pākehā queen that looks like Queen Elizabeth, but they say no, that's their business. So they swear with their legislation. So there's the flag there. Okay, that's our flag. Jurisdiction, owner of this country and constitution, wrapped up in that flag of 20 legal instruments. I've gone over that with everybody. So there's our two main men. One is the Radican, is the Chief of Defence with the Navy, the Army, and the Air Force. And here we've got Ben Key. He's the First Lord High, First Sea Lord, First Sea Lord, and he's a high position of here, on here, as taking the place of the last fellow we had there. I forget what his name is, but so he's replaced the last fellow that died, in there, and so we've got this line up here with Chief Te Waikato Wharehere Manukau in 1823. He sold the whole of New Zealand in the Edinburgh Magistrate Court, that they were going to take it, the British were going to take it anyway. So he went to Cambridge to learn English language with Hongi Hika, and he learned real estate. That's why he signed it. That's coming from Mohi Manukau and the Freemasons. I got this all from them. So there's nothing anybody can do about what I'm doing with the certificate of title, paper titles to this country that the Scottish rights and the Manukau Land Company in Edinburgh was a Scottish company that took this country with this chief and King George IV in 1823. So that's going for us as well, the first contract and the second contract with the flag and a small bunch of chiefs, native chiefs. It wasn't an assembly of chiefs, it was just a handful, anything like 10 or 13 chiefs. That's not an assembly, that's just a little group, and that's what those words of fraud had been added to that declaration to make this constitution look like a declaration to make a new contract in 1840. So there's our main man there, Ben Key, and there I am with Rogan and Cosgrove coat of arms, and King William IV here on the front of me. So I've got it on my shirt, and his coat of arms, and he's King of Britain, UK, Hanover, on the other side of the shoulder, and this one on this side, and the 8 points down the head on the top. So there's King William IV there. So this is all up against Cindy Kiro and her plastic Maori and Pākehā looking thing on their seal of nothing. All this is stacked up against her. If you can understand what I'm trying to say here, is very legal. The Confederation Chief's Executive, that's me,
John Manoa, jurors and Paramount Chief Te Waikato Wharehere and Manukau Punga Punga tribal members in the Waikato region of Arapuni, Karapiro. So I've got two chiefs down down in the area of Otauranga in Pohara in Arapuni, Maungatautari Mountain. They're on the land blocks there. So those are the chiefs that's going to take this two's contract, and that goes ahead of any other contract in this country, including the contract with the flag up in 1835. So this one here is more in line with Britain as being the first founding was these two here, and not 1840. Locks, Jacinda Ardern, and all their humbug government corporation, private corporation out. Native Magistrate Kings Bench Court Order, Warrant, 1835 New Zealand Constitution Rule of Law, Inherent Jurisdiction. So there we've gone past this bit. So here's the two constitutions here. So we've got the link there for it, over here somewhere, in there, to open up this constitution and this constitution. Oh no, I haven't got it in here. I've got to put them in. I've got to put those two constitutions in. So this was the Declaration of Independence here, and I put all the red there as being the Constitution, and the black bits being the Declaration. You can see, look at it, pull the red bits out, and read them separate from the black, and you can see it sticks out clearly that the British, this is their version of the Declaration, and their other version, the Maori version and the Pākehā version, is not sounding like this, but still the same words that haven't been altered. They've just interpreted different. So we as natives interpreted this the way we see it as native, not Maori. So there was no Maori in Britain. These guys here know there's no Maori about them. And so there's the British one page constitution there. The Constitution of Britain, this was the Bill of Rights. This is the Bill of Rights, and it added up to the Constitution as well with King William III. And the Constitution is 178 pages, but this is the original Bill of Rights that was all absorbed into this Constitution as being one page here and one page there. Instruments. These are the land titles of a native of England there and the natives of New Zealand there. That's your title. Okay, you got that? You got that? And here's the man here, Lord Burnett. Lord Burnett, he's Chief Justice of the Royal Courts of Justice in Westminster City. So he's got the document, all the documents. They all got it on the same emails. There's 11 of us on the same email. The first time I sent it, it backfired and blocked because it was too big. The files were too big. So I had to compress every file to make them smaller, and then it went. It went over today. So it took me 2 or 3 days to figure it out. And because I sent 3 or 4 times the emails, and it bounced back every time into the Navy, and it looked like their own emails were blocked as well from me getting in. So it got in through the royal courts in their international email. So it's there. It got there. So there you are. So that's just explaining to you. And this is our economy for when we get the funding from all the seized property from the thugs and pirates, like Jacinda Ardern. She loses all her properties, every single thing, except her underpants. And that's it. Too bad. They don't care about us. So the thing is this, we care about everybody, but we don't like murderers and thugs and pirates who are going to steal this country if we don't get together and support this and get it done, get the job done. This is the tidal turbine of the Maui tidal turbine project to go right around the world with that flag in the four corners of the world. And the Maui Tidal Energy World Co-op, we are a co-op government here, each state government of New Zealand, federal, under that flag, and not United Nations, New Zealand. No, New Zealand, UK, in the safety of the devil you know, then the devil you don't in the United Nations is full of thuggery. And they've stolen our trust money in the World Bank and United Nations. That belongs to our trust we're going after with this 8-point star that picks up the rent of all the crown properties in the world. That there is our company logo to go and recover all that stolen gold and all the stolen land, all the stolen children, all the stolen rights. Your claim of rights will come back to you as natives of England, natives of Scotland, natives of Ireland, and natives of Wales, natives of India, natives of Africa, natives of America, means everybody that gets into this, and it's shared out amongst everybody in this system of law. So the Maui Tidal Energy World Co-op pound note, that's the pound note, gold, water, money, patent, shares, UK. So there, we've patented the money, the pound notes we've got. We patented the water for the tidal turbine, making the hydrogen economy. And we patented the pound note in this court and our government with Britain. So Britain is us. Britain is us with this flag. It's a British flag. It's not a whakaputanga flag. The king didn't say, oh, make my flag something else. No, they don't have commercial in their brains. That's what this flag is. It's corporate commercial for business. And they haven't used it for what the king said to use it for, protecting business, not for anything else. So there, that's an authority right there with the seals along the top. There's the Maui tidal turbines around the world, and there's the crown and anchor flag flying with the British flag, and the Confederation flag here, flying, three flags flying there, and you've got the court's seals here, the Maui seal here standing in London. That Maui is my own Wānoa bloodline, royal Tahitian family. That's our memorial. That belongs to me and our family in Easter Island and Raiatea Island and New Zealand. So that's our Maui there in the Pacific for the tidal turbines right there for the economy. And so this is the Royal Courts of Justice, King William's Great Seal of Britain. That's the Great Seal. I can't see no Great Seal of this government in New Zealand, and the Supreme Court, and the Crown and Anchor flag there to pick up the rent on the land and throw the anchor off the boat to hook it to the land, the dry land, and walk on the land. But this is a dry land flag. This is a dry land flag. That's a wetland flag from Britain that comes off the sea onto the land. This one was given on the dry land and not at sea. And there's the Maui flag with the dark red of Marais and spiritual colour, dark red, and the pyramid of Africa with us, and Maui on the left-hand side, and the sun Ra, that where all the energy of light and warmth comes from to power up this world of of life. Okay, so there. That's a lot of information on one page. Where is yours, Jacinda Ardern, on your own 2 feet? Where is yours against this? If you haven't got any, then boot you off the land, out into jail, and no more of you. We don't want your big little mouth talking anymore in front of us anymore. you've had it, and you've sold this country out, and no good. Oh, this, I'm just mucking around here, putting that together. So it takes a little bit of skill to put things together. What's this one? So this is, how many pages? Oh, this is the, I'll just show you this one. Oh, this is the, hang on, I'll go down the bottom. This is 6 pages. Oh, this is a letter. This is the letter. There's our 2 chiefs that the letters have gone to. There's the 3 flags flying and the whakaputanga up the top, which means nothing to the king in England with Britain. It means nothing. There's our constitution there. So we're turning that into a confederation flag at the top, and the contract flags here in these 3 here, the contracts here, and our confederation flag up the top of this land, because unless anybody has got anything better than this document, then I can't see nothing. And there's mine here, the Cosgrove family coat of arms in Ireland, and the Rogan coat of arms in Scotland. So those are my Scotland family and Ireland family with the Manukau's. The Manukau's married into the Rogans, married into the Manukau's, and the Wānoa's on the East Coast. So there's our connection to the Freemasons right there. Okay, so there locks us together. And so there's my outfit when I was going, and the Natalie Flowerdew Brown policewoman stole this shirt and took it away as evidence against me. I'm going to use it for evidence against her in this court. We've already tried her in this court for what she did to me, and she'll lose everything as well. There's our authority to God Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth and the universe there. So that's who I get my inspiration and my energy from, to do everything I'm doing in front of you all without a hitch. So there, that's Admiral, Official, Assignee and Sheriffs of the Confederation of Chiefs, British Native Magistrate Kings Bench Court, Bank, New Zealand, and the number. And so there, that's our connections there. And so there's our beautiful framed constitution license ownership of the native lands of New Zealand. This is where the Hapu's lands are, right there. That's where they should be, hooking themselves into this. So Gene Sadler, he will get in touch with me, and I'll just explain the same things I'm doing here, but you'll have it on the website, which is here, the website over here. If you go online and go and hit the Confederation, here, this one, and there's our man there, Ben Key, the Navy, the Royal Navy, and you go all the way to the bottom, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll come across, there's the British. I'll just wait for it to clear up. This is the British, I just put this afternoon, the British Constitution. I'll wait for it to clear up. There it is. So there, you can hardly make it out, but you can blow it up and read it. That's the original Bill of Rights and Constitution right there. So there's your ownership, Andy and Frank McElharron. There's your native title to Britain. To England, and it's in Britain as well. But this is England first. You're the native of England, and so this is what you use, and then we over here use our constitution for our documents, but we're going to get ours going first. So here, this is this constitution here. So you just click on it. But all these links are on that one page I'm doing. I'll have it ready tonight. So this is what you'll get when you press those links on that one page. You can carry it around with you in your mobile and can pick it up, click onto it anytime. anytime to make any court case work. So there, when you go down, there's page 71. It's supposed to be 80. So I got the wrong one. I got to change it. So there's the framed up constitution for Britain. And there's the one for New Zealand. So I've got to change these two because it's got watermarks in this one. And I've got a clear one with a different frame around it. And so there's the two constitution licenses with this court order. This is the court order. And there's our lawyer here that has certified everything I'm doing as being authentic. See? So he's an international lawyer with Higgins, Australia, for the whole Pacific. And there's our constitution there to read. You can see, as you can see, it's in red. Oh, I haven't got the numbers on it. I've got to change that one as well. So I've got to flick that out because the original one's got the numbers on. And this one's got the numbers, should have the numbers on too. This should have the numbers on, but it's not very good reading. The one I did before is better to read. So I've got to change all that. A lot of work to do to change all of that. So there's a little bit there, the two of them, and the big pound note. This is the big one that clobbers the whole Vatican, America, the Rothschilds, the governments in all the Commonwealth countries. This one here, and the stolen gold, and the stolen lands, and everything. This green pound note liquidates the whole bloody lot of them, and America, Congress, and all that, World Bank, and everything in the scam. It's all one big scam. That's what I'm saying on this video tonight. So there's our seals and everything there. There's the flags there again. There's the flag. The government here is using this as a whakaputanga on the National Library, and the Maori Party has got it in Parliament as well. So there's all the links there to the videos, and there's all their legislation they're passing and enforcing it through. And that's illegal. There's the Jabby murderer there, one of the murderers. He's one of them that have pushed this thing, and they're only after it for money, making money for the WEF and themselves. So that's that one. So then you go, all these links. I've got to fix those links up and put them right. Where's the? I've got to go. Hang on. I don't like holding this. I'll go back to the thing here. So there's the New Zealand Constitution here. This one, it's at the bottom. There's no numbers in that one. Oh, I still haven't got any numbers in it. It might be on this in one. Now, see, there's the British one. I have to change these. I haven't changed them. So that's 71. I just did that one. So we've got this one. That's my tidal turbine bridge. This is what is 20 billion there. That for an airport. Out in the ocean, all around, 60 of those in the Pacific. That'll power up the whole Pacific. You only need 4 of these to power up New Zealand, the whole country, the fuel, the electricity, everything with this. You just make it longer and longer. If you want some more power, you just keep adding 4 kilometers long or longer on an airport in the middle of the ocean, out of the shipping lane. So that's just where they'll say, where's the money going? It's going straight into that. That's for aquafarms, hotels, and refrigeration, packaging, and tourism, fisheries, and meat packaging and export, all that sort of thing, and cultivation, regeneration of fish. We regenerate aquafarms on there as well. That's the main focus of that project. So just to let you know, we're not here for nothing. And so there's this here is the 676 page. We'll see how long it takes to open up the big file, because this is going through my Google Drive. I'm putting all the files through Google Drive because it's quicker I'll just see how long it takes to open up. So it's speeding along now. And this is an old computer, one of the old type, but it's beefed up. It's beefed up, so it's doing pretty well. It's handling a lot of files at the same time. I usually have more than that along the top. So I got rid of them all and started again because it does slow the computer down a bit. But see, it's on 85 now. So this is how long it takes. It used to take 3 or 4 goes to open up the PDF file, but the PDF just wouldn't open up. So I'm going to make them all go through my Google Drive account. There we go. So there's your 676 pages of all the court hearings in 37 weeks of Jacinda turning over at least 27 of these court hearings over and over and over again, and never came into the court to defend herself from what I'm saying about her. Everything I said about her is true because she has not refuted anything I say becomes law. It's law now. Everything I've said with our jurors, there's 5 of us in the executive, just 5 of us, running this whole big outfit, and 11 in the committee with the 5 in it as well. So that's all it's taking to do all this. And mind you, I did it all myself, but I'm teaching them how to do it, how to run a big business like this, because I've been in business before, and I took all my time to try and get this going. But what held me up was the Ngāpuis up north, because they didn't listen. It just went in one ear and out the other ear, and they had their own ideas, but they got no economic plan. I tried to tell them all of this. I tried my best. I even went and Gregory Cook said he can run the native court. Well, you've got no native court. I'm not going back up there again to do it because there's no time left. We only have to save this country now. That's all we got left. There's no time. We're only going to go with Helensville, and that's it. We got our Chief Reg Manukau there, and so he's picking it up too. He's very good. And we've got Philip Te Awhiru, the other native surname in Maungatautari or Otohanga, and he's looking after Otohanga, all that area, back onto the Pohara Marae and Maungatautari, where he is on those blocks. So we've got him and Philip Newton, those two, picking this up very fast. They're picking it up very fast, but they'll pick up more with this one page. All you have to do is religiously study that one page with the links on it, and that's all you would ever need in the world of all the other countries to do a native title, is to follow suit, because it's the same beast that we're going to topple the whole lot of the corporations with this creator of the corporations. Kings here, that lineup of kings. So there, all your people with photos in here, you've got £1 trillion on your head and lose the lot with these court orders. There's nothing you can do about it. That's the law. It's the law. So that's that one. And so there's our lineup there of those. See, so these are the people that put this all together, not Charlie and his family. They didn't do any of this. They didn't put any of this together to make mortgage liens and bank loans and that all that finance stuff. They just hooked themselves like leeches onto the these kings' hard work, and they just got it for free. Well, we're just going to take it off them and seize the whole lot back off them and boot them into prison. That's it. That's it. As far as I'm on this earth for, I'll do my due diligence and finish my job right off. And that's me out of the way. And so everybody else can get on with their lives and do what they want to do and not be told what to do in their own country and their land by a bunch of thugs and elite bastards that have stolen everything and expect everybody to be slaves forevermore. and they do own everything, and you'll be happy to have nothing. So that's that one. Court hearings, and then arrest criminals. What's this one? This one here. These are just those documents that are on that one page. So I've just got a couple of things to clean up, and you can have it tomorrow. You can have it. Oh, this is the one. This one here. It's already on. This is on the website, so you can read it straight off the website. But it's easier coming from a one page for you, Jean. I've been talking about you with our executive, so we might be getting you on board to follow suit and look after Ngāpui up there, and at least they've got something that's concrete enough with all this going on. So this is the warrant here to arrest Jacinda Ardern and Cindy Kiro and the two owners of Cook Street land. Well, they're just proprietors. It's just lease lands. So there's that document with the Chief Justice of the High Court, which is the Royal Courts of Justice for Wales and England. So there we're going under those Wales and England. They've got the outright title of the land of England. Andrew and Frank McElheron. This guy, he's got the native land title that of England. So there's the two constitutions with him. They are stuck with him, like how I'm saying, and stuck to us in the email. We've got our names and our emails stuck to him. And so that's a contract. They are obligated to protect us, our country, and our trading business. See, with this company logo here, the company logo right with him, our partner. That's him with that in our share ownership of a dual UK, New Zealand, federal, state, republic government. The flag does that. So this is the warrant. If you read it, there's Jacinda there and the two landowners and Cindy. And then here, there's their charges. I'll just read it out. Accordingly, that's section 172 of the Crimes Act 1961. This is what it says. Accordingly, after my deliberations and reading for 2 hours of the court orders and the court warrant, bench warrant, this is what I came out with. Accordingly, I find Mr. James Pierce Brown guilty on charge 1. Accordingly, I find Mr. Simon Brent Roundtree guilty on charge 1. Accordingly, I find Ms. Jacinda Kate Laurel Ardern guilty on charge 2. Accordingly, I find Mrs. Assaron Cindy Kiro guilty on charge 2. So that's when you look up those X, that's there, but down on the end, after going through the rest of it, you come up with the final edition of here on page 9 or 10, 11, 12, the last page. And it says, for these reasons, I am sure that the defendants and past landowners parties supplied information to Land Information, that's for Cook Street, knowing that it was false or misleading in a material particularly. And section 177, accordingly, I find Mr. James Pierce Brown guilty on the charge of 1, life imprisonment for what they did to a surrogate king. And that's extreme of what they're doing with mortgage fraud and fraud land transactions. And I warned them, but they just ignored me as though I was nothing. And so this is the result they get. Locked up for life. Accordingly, I find, and the jury says so too, find Mr. Simon Brent Roundtree guilty on charge 1, life imprisonment for what he did against me, and not so much those Maori marshals because they did a piss poor job of not getting the key for me and got us thrown into prison. That's all I got out of that. So I won't be going down that track with Gregory and his sheriffs, because it'll end up the same way, not trained enough and got the wrong attitude. So that's why I had to get rid of them, the Home Guard, off the Native Court, and the governorship off. You can't be a governor in this from this Native Court anymore, because I've stripped it from it, because they've got other agendas lined up for Waitangi Day without us and not being helping us in the court to make decisions. So that's then they've got no Native Court as well up there. So that makes it right out of the question. Accordingly, I find Miss Jacinda Kate Laurel Ardern guilty to possible death penalty. I had death penalty before, but our jury says, one of the jury says, no, it might get me in trouble. Well, I'm here because there's death going on here because of what she has done to fuel the death rate of this jabby thing they're doing to people, to exterminate them as being deliberate. That's what I'm saying. So there was Section 179. Section 180 is accordingly, I find Mrs. Echelon Cynthia Kiro guilty on a charge to possible death penalty as accessories to Jacinda. They are in it together. All those other ones are in the same. The Broomfield and that other mongrel there. That's there. Hipkins and all those people, doctors and everybody, they're getting the same treatment here. Death penalty possibility for their part in killing these people, because I know it's not natural occurring. It's man-made to get rid of people. So that's all I can say about that. That's just shows you this is a warrant to arrest them as being guilty until proven innocent, and they are guilty as charged until they came into the court all this time and said nothing to get their name cleared. So that's in front of the whole world as witnesses. And I am my own competent witness in everything I write and swear to these kings. I swear to our chiefs, our ancestors who have left this on my head, Mohi Manukau, and all the other old people that have died and left me to finish off the Confederation's job. Why it's the Confederation? It's because that Constitution says clearly Confederation, and the Confederation flag was put up in Helensville to run the Freemasons' business to build Auckland out of the Aotearoa Bank and the mortgages lands on the land, the 10-acre block. They cut up the lands there first in the country and then went from there, splitting all the big blocks into small blocks. So there's my name on the end as a judge. That's how they did it in the High Court. I just follow how the High Court goes to keep it in line with the High Court. So that's 12 pages of a arrest warrant for landowners and politicians or crown agents. Crown agents. And so that's so that's the website there. That I think that was all. I've gone through them. Reciprocal. This is the one here. This is the one, this government, I'm going to catch them out on it. This is what they're using. Reciprocal Enforcement Judgments Act 1934 to hook themselves to Britain through this document here. And because they've got no other connection to Britain, but we're going to put this on top of their heads as well, because we're using this on them. And they're still hooking themselves to Britain. They've got no legal connection to Britain. They've cut themselves free, and not us. We've got a continuity of sovereignty to the flag and we got a continuity of Admiralty mortgage liens to those lineup of kings. So there, this government has no continuity of sovereignty. They cut it off. They cut off their sovereignty, and they've got nothing. They've just got a whim and assumptions. So there, well, this one here, I'll go over it and split it all up so that I can drop it on their heads as well. I'm blocking all the holes, legal holes up, so the government's got no room to wiggle out of it. They've got no wiggle room. Catherine Maschetti in America, you listen over there, because this is for you too over there, and you people that going to follow this way, and not the way Daryl Payne was going to look after humanity with whose money? It's all stolen money that he was going after with the United Nations and Trump. Well, Trump is just as bad. Even though he's a Freemason, he's got his nose in the snout. He's got his snout in the trough of fraud money from their Congress is fraud. The whole lot of it. Everybody, all those property developers are fraud. The whole lot have to pay this bill as well. They have to pay this bill. All of them. Everybody that made a lot of money out of fraud. Okay, so there's our Constitution. That's the most important piece of paper is this one. This is the real one. This one got no flag of business and kings. This is the King's Constitution. This is a Bill of Rights that the King put together. King William III put this together, but never got a flag like this one. You see, there's this flag here. So this flag will be for this one and this one. You see what I mean? Dry land. You don't need a court. That's why we got a court. That's why they can't do stuff all about it. They can't do nothing because we're on the dry land. That's why this government is grabbing that land flag, because they've got nothing to go on. Okay, so that's all I wanted to explain. So I can put this video on that one-page document here, this one. I'll have to squash these words down a little bit so I can jam it in here somewhere. I was going to put the video here, but I have to put these links to open these up somewhere. I'll fit it in somewhere, so you can click onto them. So everything I just said is in these documents. Those ones there to open them up. The 4-page 1, 2, 3, 4. To make a case anywhere in the world with this lineup before they get rid of it. It's still there while they've still got the 1986 Constitution, and we've caught them with it. We've caught them with it this month. We sort them out. That's what I'm going to talk with the debt collector tomorrow to make his mind up. Which way is he going to go with Jacinda, or this way back where he comes from, Britain? Which way do you think you'll go? I'll leave that one with you. Which way do you think he's going to go? This way with all this, or nothing, thin air in the government in Wellington that just makes it up as they go along? And they're panicking now because of this. They should be panicking, and you should be rejoicing, all you people who've got something real concrete to go on now, and I can rest easy and have a big long break after this is gone through with the debt collector. We can get on with the business and start getting you people all together everywhere in the world. And I've got to get good people in, people we can trust, or I can trust. No mongrels coming in here thinking they're going to get a free ride. No, this was hard work putting this together. Nobody's got a free ride. Just like Musk, hire and fire. That's his philosophy. That's the philosophy of this court as well. So there, I'll just put this back up here, and I can finish it. There we go. Since I've said that much, I hope that's lined up straight. I'll just have a look on the website, on Facebook,
and I'll go back on there now. I'm really tired. I've been up long this morning. I've had lots of late nights and not good, really not good. Where is my video? Hang on, I'll find my video wherever that's gone. I don't know where it is. Hang on. I'll see if I can find it. Oops. How do you find it? Hang on. There must be. There we are. I found it. So there we are, people. That just gives you a rundown of just how many years I've put into law and following what a native would do and how a king would think. So no one's thinking about kings, about what a king thinks. And so that's where it's all lost. Everything, they're flying that king's flag and are lost with it because they've got no connection to it. They have got nothing written, nothing to show what that flag means to them, other than a whakapapa, which is not commercial, and something to try and protect what they've got in their land and everything. But it doesn't do anything for that, because the government is using it as the business to pick the rent up off the land. They're using it because I know real estate, and I know how flags work and what they're doing without it. They can't do without it. If that flag goes, they're gone. See? So if we take it off them, the whole war stops around the world. All the wars are stopped because that's a war flag for anybody that gets in the road between here and Britain. So Britain's got nothing much left. And because it's the EU, that those EU traitors have come into Westminster Parliament, boot the whole of that flag, will boot the whole lot of them out, the whole 600 out, and the Lords and everybody out, because the King can fix everything up and the common people. See, that's how you do it. And the same here, we boot this whole lot out with these documents, just those ones, those 4 documents and the flag. That's it, really, that's it. So what else did I want? Andy, Greece, Alec, Browns Bay, Ben Wallace, Ben Key, Tony Radican, Lord Burnett. So the High Court got all the documents, and only Navy that blocked the email, because the emails they only got a limited amount of mail that can go in at the one time. So that's why it never got through, and I had to keep trying and cutting back the files and have another go, and it bounced back, and then I have another go, and it bounced back, and they must be getting sick of the emails going backwards and forwards, having lots of goes, and I'm getting frustrated because of those 3 Navy guys and the government guy wasn't getting them hooked to us. So I sent one by itself, and that still got blocked because it was too big. And so I had to cut the whole lot and spend another whole day compressing them all and getting the size of the file smaller, and then put everybody together and send it, and it went through today. Hallelujah. It went through. And so that locks us all in a contract. It locks us, 11 of us, all together. The 3 in the Navy and the Secretary of State Defense, those 3, and the 2 Navy guys, the Admiral, First Sea Lord, and the Admiral, Chief of the Defense Force, the military, and the judge in the High Court of the Royal Courts of Justice. So 4 of them, and 5 of our executive, that's 9, and Andy Devine, that's 10. Who's the other one? Just one more. Oh, just one more. Where's that other one? I've forgotten. Who's the other one? Oh, dear. Well, Andy. Yeah, now, Blair, Kate, whatever. Six, supposed to be 6 on the executive, but we only got 5. I'm not too sure about the 6th one, so we'll see. We'll see the other person. The 6th one on the executive. We'll just give that person a little bit more time. So there, that's it. That's where the 11th one came in. And so I've dropped that one out, which makes it down to 10, I think. 10 emails all stuck together. So now Ailith, the debt collector, ex-Scotland Yard, has to make his decision up, just like all you people watching this. Who would you pick? This king here of the documents and that lineup of kings in Britain, or Jacinda Ardern and what she's presenting as a king of nothing and a queen of nothing and a private corporation that's got nothing to do with you, and the United Nations stolen all our trust money. You people, the native-born people of the land, don't know that the big crown in Britain is what we're after, because that's our partnership still alive with that flag. It's still Britain and us. If you tell them how it works, you got a plan, you got a big development plan in the billions, that tidal turbine, that's 20 billion just for that bridge. Yeah, and the airport and everything in it. That's its tag mark. The Chinese will get in and bang the thing up. No time. In no time, it will be up when I get this thing going, because that's supposed to be happening in 2015. That should have started in 2015, and now it will start up again after Cook Street. That's just one piece of land that's been thugged around with. There's plenty more. I've got them lined up, all the other lands that have got fraud in them. You can see the fraud. And if I had a lesson on fraud in the land title of this Cook Street, you'll be baffled. You'll be completely baffled, because it's there, but you can't see it because it's private. All those corporations are private. Ours is public. Everybody knows what happens in this court because it's disclosed, discovered, and no court can bring it up because everybody knows. Once that happens, no more court case. You can't bring it up in court. And that's what Jacinda Ardern's got. She can't bring this up in court and take it to a court. No way. The British already know that. The Americans know that. If you know contract law, yep, if you don't answer, that's it. We can rule in absence of coming onto the court, and it's there with your mobile. You have no excuse. There's no excuses for not just hooking in. It's open. I left it open for weeks. Andy wanted it to be private. I said, no, I'm going to leave it open. And when we first opened it, you had all sorts of people coming in and messing it all up, including someone I really know. And so that fixed that up. It's out of the way. So we only deal with what's at risk and the threat on us here, living on the land. The ones here living on the land, not somewhere else. The ones here, not absent. So there. That's really what I wanted for Jean Sadler. If you can give me a call tomorrow, this will be finished. I'm going to have a rest tonight. I'll do it in the morning, or early in the morning, and I'll finish. I'll try and struggle through it afterwards and try and correct a few more things, like those pictures. I haven't corrected them. I've got the right ones there, but it's so much to go over and change all documents around. It takes forever putting all the pictures in and making all the pictures fit and all that sort of thing, and altering things, alter the dates and stuff, the letters and everything. That's all doing all by myself. That's why it takes hours and hours with one finger at a time, like that. Tick, click, 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 click. All bloody day and night. And the cat gets over here and clicks through. He clicks the flipping keys and messes up my work. He's so fat and useless. Lays around here, but he's good and fluffy. That's a good thing. He's fluffy. He's excused all the time for being a nuisance. He's excused. So there, that's. I think that was all, and I can talk this out, and we're having a Zoom meeting on Saturday. Saturday at 8:00 at night, and so that'll only be questions and on the topics, nothing else. Don't talk about whakapapa or anything else. We got rules, but I won't bother about that. I'll just say it's only for what's a threat here on our country with what Jacinda's doing, whether it's a good idea what we're doing. And do they support what we're doing? Is it going to work? And all of those things without being negative, because it takes a lot to put something like this together and think it's going to work. Well, I'm confident it's going to work because it's got this far so far after all these years. And the delay has been up north. They weren't supporting it fully. And so they've got their own ideas. I'm saying you follow your ideas, and that's the way you want to go. You go that way, but don't put your hand out if we get off the ground and get going, because I'm going to treat everybody the same. Everybody is equal in this. It's not going to be one Maori running the whole place. No. And not one Maori looking after one area. What about the rest of the country? They've got people spread all over the place that are just as well off or not well off as you are. So it's right through the whole world. This is not just here. This is going the whole world one shot. Okay? That's what that flag is. The whole world. You had 183 years to figure it out. Figure it out. I had this figured out in 2012. Even 2008 with Moi Manukau. We had it figured out. But no one was listening. They had their whakapapa came first. Not the money, the whakapapa came first. Well, he's got a whakapapa, I got a whakapapa. We don't put that first. We put the land who's on it first. And how you got there first, in the first place. You see? So they're there now. They're going to carry on. The next generation is going to carry on. But I don't like the way it's going to be going after this lot of thugs take over and screws everybody up. You won't be the same anymore. This is your last bit of freedom that you're holding on to now and can't do a damn thing about it. No one can stop them except these documents. That's it. It's the documents of Britain and a little bit of flavour from us, a native. Interpretation of documents in plain English. That's all, Andy. That's. If you saw this long ago when you first met me and picked the flag up, because you know it was a British flag. It still is a British flag. It's not a Maori flag. It's a British flag. See? That's what I can't understand. I can't, the life of me, I can't understand what's in their brain to think something different than what they're going through hardships all the time. And the government here is not going through hardships. They're milking the whole thing up at Waitangi, right in front of their nose, on the marae. They have to go up there every year. Now, I think Ngāpuhi is going to block
Jacinda Ardern going up there, she'll sneak in another day. She'll come in another day or in the middle of the night and get her consent through with those other thugs, the trustee thugs that got this pound note on their head. All the trustees in this country has got £1 trillion on their head to rack up the bill of the Rothschilds and this government in Wellington. Guess who pays the bill? All your side, on that side, with the whakamininga and all those marriages on that side, not this side. This is a credit side. No mortgages in this court. No mortgages and no gambling like the crypto. No crypto gambling on this side. Out, right out. That's hiding stolen wealth. They're leeches getting money for nothing from some other poor soul. That's all I see with crypto. It's a scam, just like the government, just like the banks, just like everything else. This is going to whop the whole lot of them if you people go along with it, because it's just a few of us that's doing this for mankind and to free the world once and for all in my time. So when I go to the ferries, I'll be happy and I can fly back here anytime and just check up to see that all is going well. I'm a little spaceship. Okay, so that's my little project, like Elon Musk. He got ideas. He got plenty of ideas. Well, I got some ideas too to chase him in the hydrogen economy. They haven't touched what I'm wanting to do with the magnetic engine and the tidal turbines. They haven't gone near it yet. They've got other tidal things in the waves like that, but it's not as powerful as this lot. It's the best in a mechanics dream of power in hydraulics and magnets and gas, all that sort of thing wrapped up. I do have my gas license for vehicles, for installing it in cars, not in where I'm going with it, although it's always my interest in engineering better than this politics and stuff. I just want to clear the land so that we can just go straight in the sea without these mongrels telling us what to do in the sea. We're just going straight in with these orders and boot them out of the way. Boot them, take them off the land, boot them. The whole bloody lot of them out of the road, because they've had our land blocks at the East Cape all these years and it's only got cows on it, nothing else. I wanted to do things way back in 2012 on the land. It's coming up for lease. I'll take the whole bloody lease and do something for the next generation. And my friends in Japan, they can come over here and look after all the aqua farms on those platform bridge. They're very good. I live with them over there in Japan, Isatobi, on the island, 14 cooperatives there. So I learned a lot while I was there in cultivation of seaweed. The best seaweed was from the East Coast. I took some seaweed from there, off our rocks down the East Cape, and they said that's the best in the world. They said they wanted the whole lot. I said there's nothing. It's all gone from erosion, what these Pākehās did with the land and chopped all the trees down that held the hills up in the up the back of the Raukamara Ranges at the East Coast, and the bloody hill fell in and went down through the river and took all our seabeds out, took the whole. They're going to get the bill for that. This government gets the bill for 75 metres of land that's been wrecked through erosion and flooding from cutting the trees down, putting bloody pine trees up, useless pine trees that's got no value in, and they're still growing the bloody useless stuff instead of cypress wood that can cultivate and harvest every 6 years. They still wait 30 years for a flipping useless pine tree that's got linseed oil in. It poisons the water in the waterways, the oil in those pine trees. They put them there on purpose so that it will drive you off the land. Well, we're going to clean all that lot off, chuck all those pine trees off, chuck them off, chuck all the trustees out and put cypress logs up, trees up, and native bush up, and put the land back how it was, and build them for doing it. You see, they've just wrecked the fisheries, wrecked everything, just took the fish out of the sea instead of cultivating them to keep regenerating. That's what this bridge is for. It's to regenerate the fish and let them go in the ocean. There's none of that. That's what that big bridge is for, to cultivate the fish, catch them. You don't need boats with that anymore. No more fishing boats, gone. This catches the fish right where they come from. Japan, we did a study on this in Japan. They said this is the best place on the East Coast to catch the fish that are fat when they go past the East Cape. From Japan, they're skinny over there. That's why they wanted to come on our land blocks down there. And our people have kept the Chinese out, kept everybody. We've got 93% of our land still intact because the British, they supported the British, and everybody else, tribes, went against the British and got their lands confiscated. And so that's the problem there, why we didn't do that down the East Coast. Thank goodness we've got some land down there we can go and develop and still in our ownership. So the Maori lands will disappear back into native land, and it'll only be done from the government, and take the government over, scoot them out, and then change the title back in there for the whole lot, one shot. Not just one here, then one there, one there, one there. But that's how we'll start off, by doing one or two native land titles, and then should be financial to liquidate the whole of their businesses, liquidate the whole lot, one by one, bang, out. Okay, so that's as harsh as I can be, and I can't be any better feeling about anything going on when there's a threat on our country take over with another constitution and with illegally passing laws with a unconstitutional legislation of an unconstitutional War Powers Act when there's no war. It's just jab. It's not a war. They created something that looks like a war on pandemic they created to make themselves immune from what they're doing against the people. So there, this is against them for the people. You get that? Did you people get that? This is for you. I'm here for you people who are helpless to do anything about the government, and you try your best, but they just go around it and have consultations. Then they just carry on and said, we consulted, but didn't listen to you anyway. They just don't want to know, and they just want their way, and we've got our way. This is your way. This is your freedom, your way. Pass them and boot them. That's all you want to do. You want her arrested, both of those women. It's the women that are doing the problem. The woman is the one, like Nancy Pelosi and Liz Truss in Britain, sold off the whole military to the EU. It's always the woman because of Queen Elizabeth and Queen Victoria. Once they put a woman in, the man was shut down and the woman took over on the marae here. The women are running the marae, like Nada Glavish. That's your problem. The woman is in the wrong place of the house. It's the man of the house, not the woman of the house. The woman look after the whānau and the marae, and the man do all the work out to clear the way and do the work while the woman looks after the home. You don't see that anymore, with the woman staying at home to look after the kids. That's the scenario we've got here. That's the scenario we got here. So, okay, that's all for now. And I'm getting tired. I just think that's enough. I could talk for a long time, but I'm really tired. So anyway, that'll do for now. We'll see you later. Have a nice evening. Blair's off tomorrow. He's going down the line for 6 days, so he can join us
down there, but I think he have a break from talking, because he's my biggest support is Blair Ingram, always, and the two girls, Kate Baker and Charlene Amai. Those three are always with me every time in the morning, and in the evening we talk and keep the thing rolling. Okay, so see ya. Bye for now. In.